Massive congratulations goes out to @Yackley70, who won £2,500 when they got 9 out of 10 rightly in last Sunday's Pick 10.
Unbelievable.
This weekend, we've got £17,000 to be won in the combined prize pots. That's £10,000 in Saturday's Pick 10, £5,000 in Sunday's Pick 10, and £2,000 for the Arsenal versus Chelsea game on Sunday, and it only costs £5 to start playing. All you've got to do is click the link, verify your details, top up your account, make your picks, and away you go. If you're as obsessed about football as we are, then this is the game for you.
What do you know about Jesus scoring on Sunday against Chelsea then?
Do you know what? I reckon he'll actually score.
Yeah, he's been going for a bit of a dry spell, but I think he'll be all right.
What if he doesn't score though?
Oh, well, we'll look like idiots then, won't we, Rob?
Well, just another normal day for you then, isn't it?
Charming.
Hi, and welcome along to the Invincible podcast with my man, the Judge. Lee Judge is in the building, brought to you today by AFTV PICK10. Big up to AFTV PICK10. Later on in the show, we're going to be announcing who won this month's Pick 10, right? Of course, the loser has got to take the winner to a restaurant of their choice, right? So you will find out who won that a little bit later on. But you know what? We're going to kick off, first of all, by talking about the game on Thursday night. Arsenal, a narrow 1-0 win over FC Zurich. I think when we was in the studio the other night, before the game, we was doing the starting 11, we was asking for predictions. I think me and you went for 3-0.
Yeah.
Julian went 5-0. Someone else went 4-0. In the end, it was only a narrow 1-0 win, but it was enough to get the job done, and we topped the group. And I'll tell you what, right? I was looking at it this morning, right? I mean, I always knew there was going to be difficult teams dropping into it, but this just to give you, because Manchester United, by the way, they didn't top their group.
Yeah, no.
They finished runners-up. That means that in February, they're going to have to play a playoff against any of these following teams. So these are the teams that we could have ended up playing, right? So obviously in our group, Bodo Glimt finished third. We wouldn't have had to play them, but Man United could play Bodo Glimt. They could play...
No, the Champions League ones they've got to play.
Oh, what am I doing? Yeah, sorry.
Take one. It's been a lot.
What am I doing?
He's had a late night, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm trying to make it easier for Manchester United.
Easy, mate, for Man United.
Right, no, I'm not going to make it easy for Man United at all. Right, hold on. Let me get to it again. Talk while I find it.
Well, Stricto went for 4-0, like, and I'm going to say this now.
Yeah, he did.
I think we all did. Underestimated Zurich, because I didn't know until Mikel Arteta said that they'd changed their manager since the last time we played them.
Oh, right.
And they've improved, and they definitely did. I thought they were a much better side than Bodo.
No,
that's why they beat Bodo last week as well. So I have to say that we sort of all underestimated him a little bit. It was a lot tougher than what we thought.
Yeah, and they had something to play for, Lee.
Yeah.
Right? Because, you know, obviously the team that finishes third in the group, another one of these ridiculous things where teams drop into another competition, but the team that finishes third in the group
going
to the Conference League. So, you know, that was between them and Bodo Glimt. And they knew that if they won the game,
they would go for it.
Yeah, so that you could see they really went for it. They bought loads and loads of fans.
Yeah, they went for it.
They went for it in a big way, but we managed to get over the line.
Put it about, that right back was putting it about. He got my goat up a few times. He did, like, you know what I mean?
So these are the teams that we've avoided by not having to play a playoff in February. Ajax, Bayer Leverkusen, Barcelona, Sporting Lisbon, who looked decent. You know, I mean, we saw them against Tottenham.
Yeah,
they beat Tottenham.
They beat Tottenham, didn't they? Didn't lose to Tottenham.
Didn't lose to Tottenham. Drew with Tottenham. Beat Tottenham. RB Salzburg, decent team. Decent team. Shakhtar Donetsk. Never want to be travelling over to Poland and that in the freezing cold. Shakhtar always got decent players.
Good luck with that one.
Players like Mudryk, exactly. Sevilla.
Ooh.
Multiple winners of the tournament.
Yeah. One to avoid.
And Juventus. those are the teams that are going to drop. Those are the teams that are going to be playing in those playoff games. Now, you would not want to be playing any of those. None of those are easy games.
No, and
they're both two-legged games as well.
And and a couple of them was all like maybe like with Juventus and Barcelona, maybe the January transfer window would strengthen. Do you remember Atletico Madrid done that, and we had to play them when they was a lot stronger. So. No, you know what I mean.
So we did well to avoid those things because I'll tell you what, that I wouldn't have fancied having to come up against any of them. And it's not that you don't think you can beat those, but those are tough two-legged games. You're gonna have to put out very strong teams again to play those games.
Why the likes of us are sitting at home watching them?
Exactly, sitting at home, relax, and getting on with preparing for the Premier League games. So I think winning those games was absolutely massive. Winning top in the group was huge. Normally, it don't really matter, does it?
No, it's a good idea.
Yeah,
it's a good idea.
It is a good idea because it makes you push on right through till the end, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it made that game yesterday something on it. There was something riding on it. Right? Otherwise, it'd have been a dead rubber. Say, like, if we'd already qualified, it'd been a dead rubber for us. We'd have played a youth team maybe, and then Zurich go and beat us, and they get into the Conference League. So how they've done it is really, they've ramped it up and made it a more interesting competition. Yeah,
and it's a great goal by Kieran Tierney.
Oh, yeah.
The game, lovely finish for him. And I thought he was the man of the match. He played really, really well, and he must have a shout now for playing on Sunday.
Well, with Tommy Asu getting injured as well, you know what I mean. So I think he
Remember Zinchenko's back though.
He could actually go with that, but it'd be interesting because I thought that's an interesting point because Zinchenko didn't come on yesterday. And I thought, is that because he's saving him or he's not quite ready? Because I think, if he was on the bench, wouldn't you give him 20 minutes at the end?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So, I think it'd be very harsh on Tierney if he doesn't play.
A few players actually came out. I thought Mohamed El Neni did well.
Oh, fantastic.
And that's not just because we were sitting next to his brother. Right.
Julian was Julian, I mean, what can you say?
Grovelling.
Trying to grow a wig, he was trying to grow his hair to match him, you know what I mean? So.
But it was great to see him back, and he played well. And his brother said, a solid 62 minutes for him. Played really well. His brother was very happy, wasn't he?
Yeah, last time we see him, he did say to us, didn't he? He's back in training.
Yeah,
and and he was, I'm going to say it now. I like El Neni. Because he does exactly what's on the tin. He's a squad player, knows his sort of
role,
doesn't he? Yeah, that's exactly that. He knows what his role is in within the club, and I'll probably come back 2 weeks too late. Really, if it had been back a couple of weeks, PSV and all that could have rested them all right. But they play against Brighton, and it could be an important role. 10, 15.
You know what? You know what it is with him as well is right. If you've got a game, and the game, say you're winning a 1-0, and you're under the cosh a bit, and things are starting to get. You can throw him into the mix
without any reservations.
You know that guy is going to be solid in front of your back four. He's going to put in a shift. He's a very, very good player. A very, very underestimated player when it comes to those sort of situations. You know what I mean? So it is good to see him back.
100%.
It is good to see him back. If we can get, obviously when we come back after the World Cup, get Smith Rowe back and Motor in as well. Keep players fit. I mean, it'd be really, really significant for Arsenal. But I think El Neni coming back into the squad is very, very good. I must say though, Lee, I was sort of saying that I was a little bit disappointed in some of the sort of fringe players that came in. I didn't think they really seized their opportunity. Sambi Lokonga, I don't think he sees his opportunity. Eddie and Nketiah, either. Those two in particular, I was kind of looking to them two to see, can you go out there and just remind the manager that, hey, you know what? And Sambi Lokonga was sort of playing in his favourite position, and again, he was just a bit.
Yeah, listen, I think it's difficult.
Did he?
It's difficult to try and, listen, look, Reece Nelson, by the way, was fantastic on Sunday. He didn't really do that much in that game.
No.
Because I think there's so many changes, it's hard to get that cohesion in the side. I do really be honest, in this whole campaign, we've not played well, have we? In any of the games, I don't think. I think we have.
At home against Bodo.
Yeah.
We played all right.
We've done all right, but like nothing's really wow. But it's never about that, was it? It was just about getting through and topping the group, which is what we've done.
Yeah, and we know in these early stages of Europa League there's going to be loads of changes.
Yeah,
different players and that.
So,
but
I think like you got to judge these players when the main players are playing and everything like Nelson did on Sunday. Come in when everybody's there, and he just clicked into it, like, you know.
Yeah, I hear you on that, but also you got to make this your own as well, the Europa League, because you know, as one of the fringe players, that this is the competition you're starting in. You're in it from the start. You're not relying on coming into an already winning team. This is a chance for you to make your mark, to give the manager a problem, or to remind the manager that if anyone's injured and that, I'm that guy straight in, right? And I just don't think that. So, Eddie in the early rounds did with a couple of goals and that, but I just don't think players like Sambi, they did, you know what I mean? Throughout this sort of qualification, he's not really
pushed himself.
Yeah, I've not really looked at it and thought, because even in the past, I've seen El Neni do that. Like in these sort of competitions, you sort of think to yourself, you know what, El Neni, if there's a game and he has to come in, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, well, you can see that.
But I've not seen some of these other guys thrust themselves forward and say,
yeah, I'm with you on that, and I'm with you on it with that. I still can't understand why Jesus played yesterday and then putting Eddie out wide. That ain't doing him no favours, you know what I mean? If you're actually going to be the backup striker, then play him in the striker's role. Do you know what I mean? To give him that chance. He was on the left wing, and that's twice now he's been on the left wing and struggled. But I just feel with El Neni, it just shows you that he is that. That's why when he comes into the team, he does well, because he even 60 minutes yesterday, he showed that he's done more than what Lokonga done, didn't he? Like, in the games when he's played in that role.
Yeah.
I actually say with Lokonga, and he'd done a couple of little things in the game, a little flick towards the end, but there was some time, we actually had to have a look to see if he was actually playing.
Yeah, and I wanted him to be a bit more positive on the ball. I'm desperate for him to do well. A lot of time he gets the ball, he goes backwards, be positive. You were playing in that sort of role that Xhaka plays. I wanted to see him be a bit more, But anyway, listen, we got the job done. We avoid those teams that I just named out, and we're through to the next round, and we can now just forget about the Europa League until the end of February and concentrate on the Premier League. We're going to be discussing our game coming up at the weekend against Chelsea. Also going to be discussing, I'm sure you've seen it by now, the Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang video that he did for BT Sports, where it's very controversial. A lot of Arsenal fans are very unhappy about it, and we're going to be talking about that coming up. But just before we do, let's find out who did win the AFTV PICK10. First of all, before I do that, got to say congratulations going out to the following people. At Peony Cop, obviously a Liverpool fan, he or she won an incredible £5,500 in last week's PICK10. At Yackley70 won £2,500 in Sunday's PICK10. And an extra 5 people won £609.90 each for getting all 9 questions right in the Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest AFTV Picks game. How did they do that? It's incredible.
It's incredible.
Just like that, £5, boom, just like that.
$5,500 just before Christmas, like,
that's
what I mean?
Nice,
like, that's
congratulations
nice, congratulations, well done, 2,500.
Yeah, this weekend we've got £17,000 to be won in the combined prize pots. That's £10,000 in Saturday's PICK10, £5,000 in Sunday's PICK10, and £2,000 in the Arsenal versus Chelsea game on Sunday. Get entering right now. The link is in the description. Just to say some of my picks. My PICK10 for Sunday. Let me see if you agreed with any of mine. Chelsea versus Arsenal. What did you go?
I've gone for Arsenal to win it.
So did I. I thought you might have gone a draw.
No.
I've gone for Arsenal to win.
I fancy this.
Villa, Man United.
I've gone a draw.
So have I.
Oh, you ain't copying me.
You know what? Either way, I do feel United. But I've gone for
Emery's first game, they may have that bounce.
Southampton, Newcastle.
Newcastle.
You know what? I got Newcastle, and I was thinking to myself, should that be a game where I went for a draw? They drew with us. They do raise their game up. Newcastle are flying so much that it could be, You
I
know.
might have gone for a draw on that one. I don't know. I think I'm not too
West Ham versus Palace, I went for West Ham.
Yeah.
Tottenham versus Liverpool, who did you go for?
Draw.
I've gone for Liverpool.
Have you?
And now that Son's out and all that,
Well,
I've gone for Liverpool. St Johnstone versus Rangers, I've gone for Rangers. Real Sociedad versus Valencia, I've gone Real Sociedad. Roma versus Lazio, the Rome derby.
I'd love to go Lazio, but I'm advantage in. You got to go. What have you gone?
I've gone for a draw.
Oh, I've gone for
Juventus versus Inter Milan.
I've got Juventus.
I've gone Inter.
They're poor now.
And Marseille versus Leon.
Well, Marseille, I'm disappointed with them.
I'm still angry.
Kolasinac.
Yeah.
Kolasinac.
I mean, I've gone for Marseille, but bloody hell, that Kolasinac thing. Kolasinac, who could have scored that last-minute winner
could have
from
been
a
an
yard
Arsenal
out.
winner,
He could be an Arsenal legend and miss that chance against Tottenham. What a plonker.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
Yeah.
oh, man.
He might be all right at beating up people in cars, but other than that, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't say it to his face. He's rubbish.
The game day special, the Arsenal versus Chelsea special. Half-time result, what did you go for?
1-0 to the Arsenal.
I went for Arsenal winning at half-time, and I went for Arsenal winning at full-time as well. Chelsea to receive over 1.5 cards.
Yep.
That's what I said, yes.
Yeah.
Gabriel to score at any time. Gabriel Jesus to score at any time.
I've gone bloody yes, because I keep going yes.
I keep going yes, and he keeps... It's got to be this weekend, Gabriel.
It's got to be, isn't it?
It's got to be. So that's what we've gone for. That's just a little snapshot of our picks. But you can get involved right now. Click the link in the description. Now we are going to announce the winner of last month's AFTV Pick10. Of course, me and Lee go head to head each and every week, right? The person who gets the most right over the period of a month, they then have to, they get taken out for a meal by the person who lost. The result is I lost.
and listen, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, he tried everything to get out of it. I mean, looking at.
We didn't try everything.
I did try different games you've tried.
I'm sure we was always judged it off of. All right, are we going to agree now that we're going to judge it off of the Sunday Pick10s?
Yeah, well,
I'm sure you shifted it around. Previously, we judge it off of Saturday ones.
No, Sunday ones. The ones that Arsenal are involved in.
I don't try. So anytime Arsenal are involved in that Pick10, we judge it off of that one.
Yeah. So next week it'll be Saturday.
Cheap, man. Yeah, I mean.
Well, you got to have Arsenal involved. You got to have that little bit.
Yeah. Anyway, you won.
Yes.
That means, right, I've got to take him to a restaurant of his choice. Where I've got to go?
Well, we are. Do you know what?
McDonald's?
No.
Nando's?
No. I haven't decided yet. I thought I want a restaurant in London that's very, very expensive and all that. So So if anybody's got any suggestions out there, restaurants owners or whatever, we're happy to do someone's chucking about a bit of salt or something what I mean.
Salt Bay place. Hey, listen, man. Hey, those £1,500 steaks on that.
Well, all right. Well, maybe we can share. No, so anybody got a restaurant out in London, a nice posh restaurant, get in contact. We may come down there. I haven't made up my mind yet.
That kebab shop round the corner.
No. I'm going to say I fancy a steak.
Yeah, they do like steak type things in that kebab shop.
A little bit of pepper sauce on it. I can't wait. Only a handful of chips, because when you go to those posh restaurants, you only get about 4 chips, you know what I mean? So I want it nice and posh. I want to put on my suit, you know what I mean? So, I'm looking forward. I'm going to milk it. I'm not having milk for my drink, by the way, you know what I mean? I'm going to have a nice...
What, drinks as well I've got to pay for?
Well, I don't know. I've got to have something to wash it down, surely. Yeah. I've got to have something to wash it down.
When he's like this, I hate it.
Oh, a little bit of champers, you know what I mean? I am looking forward to it. Yeah, so if anybody's got any ideas out there, expensive restaurants, put it in the comments and I'll have a little look through. Or if you've got a restaurant, willing to negotiate, you know what I mean?
You love this.
I am actually loving it. It means more to me. You know what I mean? I don't care if I choke on it. I've won it. You know what I mean? And it's always important to win the first one. I don't care what anybody says. The pressure's off now on the second one. So So
you wait, man.
Yeah.
Gonna come back. I'm gonna come back.
You're gonna come back, yeah.
I'm gonna come back.
What, like Aubameyang? You're coming back, are you? So
well, let's get to that. Let's get right to that. Of course, Arsenal taking on Chelsea on Sunday. Early kickoff, 12 o'clock UK time. Massive game. Arsenal, of course, trying to continue their top form to stay top of the league. You know, only 2 games to go until we go into the international break. Well, I could say international break, the World Cup break, should I say. And a very important game for Arsenal, you know what I mean? A very tough place to go to, although we did win there last year and the year before. But never easy to go to Stamford Bridge. Over the years, we've also had some poor performances there, but it's going to be a really tough game. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, of course, ex-Arsenal player, now playing up front for Chelsea, put out this video that was, well, he didn't put it out, it's put out by BT Sport, in which he's in the video and he says he's ready for Arsenal and now he's a blue. I'm a blue now and I'm ready for Arsenal and stuff like that. And I've got to say, it's caused a lot of anger amongst Arsenal fans. It was very interesting, like after the game, I was speaking to some fans, and if you guys want to get a chance, take a look at some of the fans I was speaking to after the game against FC Zurich, and I was asking them, you know, what were their feelings about Aubameyang, and it was mixed. And of course, we all remember that, you know, Aubameyang left the club under a cloud. You know, he fell out with the manager. The manager stopped playing him, offloaded him. He went to Barcelona, and I think when he went to Barcelona, I think everyone was kind of cool with that. They were kind of like, all right, there's been a falling out. He's gone to Barcelona. Fair play, listen, you know, wish you the best kind of thing. I think that was a majority of fans. However, he's now returned to Chelsea. That changes the dynamic. All of a sudden, fans are not as happy about that because they're like, you are now with them lot, which we don't like. Then on top of it, there was this leaked video that came out in which he spoke about he didn't think Mikel Arteta was good at dealing with older players. He just likes younger players to deal with. That came out, didn't go down well. He kind of apologised about that. He said that, listen, it was a video that was done at a time when I just left, you know, he put a bit of context on it. I just left Arsenal and I'd gone to Barcelona. And the video was filmed secretly. It wasn't like he came out and gave a statement. But this video that he's done now, it's, I don't know, again, it's been a bit manipulated by BT. I think they've been very naughty, BT, in the way in which they've edited up this video, you know, because they've cut in bits of Mikel Arteta into it and stuff like that. But it's not gone down well at all with Arsenal fans. And also, the other thing I was thinking, Lee, is that Mikel Arteta, we remember the documentary, that he likes to get these type of things and stick them up on the board or stick them up on the video screen and say, right, look what he just said, let's go and do them. I'm sure that he's going to be reminding all the players of a couple of the things that Aubameyang has said. But what do you feel about it, Lee? Because it is, let's remember that when he was at Arsenal, take out the last season, but he was brilliant for us the first couple of seasons, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
His goals won us the FA Cup. He was an integral part of the Arsenal team. We all wanted him to get the new deal. He had the Arsenal tattoo, you know. What have you made of it all?
Also, I remember everybody saying, "I'll sign the thing" and everything like that. Do you remember? Sign the thing and all that, like, you know. And listen, first and foremost, you've done a fantastic job for Arsenal. You know, brilliant goal scorer. I thought he was brilliant for us. For 3 years, he was fantastic. The last year didn't go so well. And for me, I'm cool with it. I'm never really bothered about it. Like, you know, I liked Aubameyang. Would he go down as one of my all-time favourite players? No. But you know, like I look back at that game, funny enough, against Chelsea in the FA Cup. He was unbelievable. You know, he won us the cup. And in the semi-final against Manchester City as well. You know, great player. And I'm with you on this. You know, I'm not really that bothered that he went to Barcelona. Good luck to him and all that. Like, coming back to Chelsea, look, first and foremost, Barcelona thing they wanted that to get rid of him for financial reasons.
He actually done very well at Barcelona.
Yeah, and he done very well at Barcelona. He scored lots of goals. I don't think they really wanted to get rid of him, but they had to financial reasons. The only club that sort of was in for him was Chelsea. So what's he going to turn around and say, like, I'm going to retire then and not come to Chelsea? You have to say that that's the way it goes. You know what I mean? He's come back to Chelsea.
Yeah,
so again,
he's coming back to Chelsea. It's a big wages. Yeah. It's Champions League football. At the end of the day, he's a professional footballer.
Yeah. So I haven't got no beef with that. Now, for me, I've got. Funny, we was talking about yesterday. Going to the game, you're going to clap him or boo him or whatever. I wasn't going to do anything. I ain't going to boo him and I'm not going to clap him, you know what I mean? It's for me. This video's come out now and it has wound up the arse. And I was talking to one of my mates on the way home yesterday and I said, you know, what is he got? And he went to me, Lee, he left on a cloud, right? Does he really, you know, and the Arsenal fans, it's a little bit mixed with him and all that, like, and you know, and what he could have, and what he should have done, he said, like, and this is what my mate said, and I think he's right. He turned around and he said, when they come to him with this advert, he should have said, nah, I'm not doing that, because the respect to the Arsenal fans, I didn't leave on a great terms with them. I don't really want to enhance that cloud stirring the pot a little bit more. No, but he's gone and done. So it's a little bit of a disrespect to the Arsenal fans of it. Now, when you think about it, and it was a great point that he made yesterday. He goes, Arsenal fans never fell out with Aubameyang. We had no say in it. It was Mikel and him had the falling out, and it affected us as well. So he's brought us into it now by saying this and all that, like, you know. And for that reason, I feel we shouldn't have done it. I think he should have turned around and said, you know what? I've got enough respect for the Arsenal fans. I've left on a cloud. I ain't doing it. But he has chosen to do it. Now, whether he chose to do it in a little bit of tongue in cheek, that's the difference. But I think
it is obviously like a tongue in cheek thing. But the way it's been edited up as well, it doesn't look good. And then the other thing is, I'm in fully agreement with you in that. Why do it?
Yeah.
Why do it? The Arsenal fans, like you said, you've left under a cloud. It's a bit mixed, you know what I mean? And as I said, when I was speaking to those fans after the Zurich game, there were like some fans that are very angry about it.
Yeah.
And then there was some fans that are like, no, I just can't. I could never boo this guy. He did a lot for us when he was there. We liked him. But why? Why? It's like you're kicking a hornet's nest. You know what I mean? Why?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You know, I just don't get why he did that. Like you said, out of the respect for the fans. You didn't fall out with the fans, you fell out with the manager. Yeah, exactly. I don't even think he fell out with the players. Remember the documentary?
Yeah,
there were even players saying, oh, you know what I mean, it's a bit of a shame that what's happened and kind of miss Aubameyang. I think Rob Oldham was saying, kind of miss him around the place. And you know what I mean? I don't think he fell out with the players necessarily from what we could see. We don't know fully. It don't look like that. He didn't fall out with the fans. He used to have a good relationship with the fans. I've met him a few times, man. Really, really cool guy. Really nice guy. Really, you know, always got a smile on his face. I like him. But I'm like, when I saw the video, I'm like, why? Why do that?
Yeah.
Right? Because like you said, now you've given a lot of fans the excuse to really, really have a go at you. You've also given the manager an excuse to say, right, you know what? This is what this is what he said before. This is what he said now. Let's go and really stick it on them. You know what I mean? I'm not even too sure if Chelsea fans will be happy. There might be some who'll be like, yeah, look, you thought he was your guy, but now he's our guy and that, you know what I mean? But I don't even think Chelsea fans will look on this and think, well, was that a very well-advised thing for him to do? Because you've just wound up the whole Arsenal team.
Yeah.
You know, you've just given them another cause, you know, to really have a go.
And there should be enough motivation without that, like. But there's a little bit of extra motivation now, like.
Sometimes that little bit of extra.
Yeah, but you know. Also, I just think like.
Remember, before you make that point, when we talk about that little bit of extra, remember earlier on in the season when Newcastle played Man City. Because of that little comment,
which was
that little comment that Grealish had made about Almiron.
It was innocuous.
You could see they were wound up. The players, man, they were wound up an extra couple of notches. Right, and determined not to lose that game against Man City, and they didn't. So that's what I'm saying, you know.
That's a great point.
It's a very ill-advised thing for him to do, even for his own fans' sake. You know, and I just don't get it, because like, that's a great point you make, Lee. The fans never really had a beef with him.
No.
Now they do.
They do now, like, you know what I mean? And also with the fans, you have to understand that there's a very, very, what's the word I'm looking at? Like, culture with the Arsenal fans of Mikel Arteta. There's a real bond with the fans.
Yeah, especially now.
And you know, there is. The fans are really, they love him and whatever, like, you know, you can't say a bad word about Mikel. Yeah. They'd rather slag off players, they'd rather slag off anything else than the manager, right? And he's gone against the manager now, our man, like, do you know what I mean? That's what the Arsenal fans are saying. And I was talking to a couple of my mates who are very much Arteta big fan. He's gone against our Mikel, you know what I mean? Like, and that's it, like, do you know what I mean? Like, you know, he's on it, you know what I mean? Like, for whatever reason, like, now to this day, you know, we don't know really whatever went on, and I've always said that, you know, he's kept his counsel Aubameyang about that, and that's always been something of a mind. So I just don't know why he would, you know, he would. And there's got to be someone in the club or someone close to him have gone to him like, do you know what you've done for art? See, like, this is what I'm saying. Like, and I don't understand this at times. All what he's done for Arsenal, it's all been great. He's ruined it now. Yeah, he can never be like an Arsenal legend in the way that he should be, like. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, now for instance, Henri's gone to Barcelona. Ian Wright went to West Ham and afterwards and
Burnley,
all that, like, Burnley. But it don't matter, like, do you know what I mean? Like, that it don't care. You know, they've still got that thing, you know, where everything. And I look back on it and I think, like, 3 players now at Arsenal that have been fantastic for us and will never be looked in the same light, and it's a shame. And maybe 4. Maybe 5, maybe 6, but like I said, I'm going to go Van Persie.
Oh yeah.
Adebayor.
Yep.
And Aubameyang. They've all been massive goal scorers for us, but if they come back, they haven't got that love. You know what I mean? Like,
well, Van Persie will never have that love.
No, he ruined it by going.
He went to Man United.
Yeah, that was it. You know what I mean? Like, so he's never going to ever be thought as an Arsenal. Fans legend.
I can give you some more.
Go on then.
I can give you some more, right? So, Olivier Giroud, loved by the Arsenal fans, was very mixed at the start, loved by the Arsenal fans, went to Chelsea. I don't think many fans had a massive problem with it, because when he went to Chelsea, it was us getting rid of him. Yeah. And again, his professional football's got to think about his career. But that time when they won the Europa League, went and made that stupid, again, another player went and made that. He scored, innit? And they won it, and he went and made that stupid sort of statement about Arsenal when in that video where he's sort of saying, suggesting to say that he's at a much bigger club now, and you know what I mean? Yeah? Yeah. So now all of a sudden, I don't think Giroud doesn't get booed, or he wouldn't get booed. Well, he did. I remember when he came back, he was picking up boos and that for a guy that was quite loved. Now, it wasn't everyone booing him, but again, he's not. He wouldn't be able to come back to Arsenal as like. With a sort of, he was never a legend anyway, but with that full status that he should get.
I'll get that.
I'll give you another one. This one I think may be a bit unfair. Fabregas, or is it? Because he was sort of pitching up for that move for.
I never booed.
But I never booed him. But he did. He went to Chelsea, but I don't think he deserved that, because he
never get the quiet.
He offered to come back to Arsenal. He offered to come back to Arsenal. Arsenal didn't want him. Arsene Wenger didn't want him, and he went to Chelsea. But he still gets stick. Yeah, which he shouldn't, because I think he's a bit of a, you know, at the time he was a bit of a legend for Arsenal. Yeah. I've got another one for you. Koscielny. Koscielny leaves Arsenal.
No
Koscielny was at Arsenal. Nobody knew who he was when he came in. Arsene Wenger made Koscielny. Brought him in. He did well for Arsenal. Became a French international. World Cup winner, wasn't he? Yeah. World Cup winner because of Arsenal. He came from Lorient, yeah? The guy leaves the club to go to Bordeaux. Yeah. Takes off the Arsenal shirt, throws it down, and reveals a Bordeaux shirt underneath. Yeah. Again, I know he's never come back since, but why do that? Anytime you come back now, fans going to look at it and say, "Well, will you?" Amongst certain fans, you've lost that status. You know, what I don't get it. You know what I mean? What Emi Martinez won the FA Cup. It's another one, a bit like Aubameyang. Won the FA Cup.
Well booed now, doesn't he?
Yeah, won the FA Cup, did brilliantly for Arsenal, came in, did brilliantly. When he moved to Aston Villa, there's a load of fans, I remember at the time, they were upset. They was like, no, we should keep this guy. He's excellent, he's brilliant. But we understand why he wants to go. Yeah. Right, we understand, right? Because he wants to start every week in, week out. And Leno's back now, and guy leaves, I'm going to, it's a bigger club, bigger things will win, and really putting down Arsenal till now. Every time he comes, I think he gets more stick than any other player.
Yeah, he's one of them, isn't he? Yeah, I've got to say.
Where he was really responsible for a great moment for us, right? So, I don't know who's advising these players. Especially some of the players that we've named out, they're coming towards the end of your career. You've got to start thinking about legacy. He's not even like a 21-year-old who's left, or a 22-year-old. Aubameyang's in his 30s. Koscielny, 30-odd. You know what I mean? His career's finished now, right? Now you've got to start thinking about other things. Oh, could I go back down to Arsenal and, I don't know, maybe do some co-commentary or do some little work around Arsenal, or is that...
No chance.
You know, all of a sudden now, fans are like, well, you're not really welcome, or you're going to have to really fight to earn back that respect of the fans that you had. Yeah. So I think sometimes
there's palm of your hand. You had them in
the palm of your hand. So sometimes there's a way of leaving. I was applauding Aubameyang at first and Mikel Arteta, because what I liked about it, right? Obviously, something behind the scenes bad went on between those two. For him to turn around Mikel Arteta and say, he ain't playing. Something went on bad. Arteta never publicly come out and said what it was.
Still doesn't to this day.
To this day, never slagged off Aubameyang. Even when asked if Aubameyang should get a good reception, he said yes. Aubameyang never publicly. I know that video emerged, but that was a leaked video. That was a video very sneakily filmed, covertly. I thought that was really out of order, but he never publicly come out and said, oh, this happened, that happened, I feel badly treated, but he just got on with it. And I like that.
Yeah.
So why he's done this, I mean, I do think BT have stitched him up as well on the video, but still, like you said, just leave it. Go and play the game. Just go and play the game. So, listen, I wouldn't boo him, you know what I mean, because I appreciate what he's done, you know, when he was at Arsenal. But I would, if I saw him, I'd be like, why'd you do that? Come on, man. Do you know what I mean? This club, these fans loved you.
Yeah, and as I say, I still go back to that point. Us fans never done anything to upset him and all that. Like you know, if you look back with the Granit Xhaka thing, if he'd have left that time and all that, he had beef with the fans, and you can understand it. You could get, you know, and if he come out and slagged it off and said, I'm back and whatever, you know, you'd actually say fair play with him, like that. I mean, but the Arsenal fans had nothing against him. He done nothing wrong in it. We done nothing wrong to him, and he done nothing wrong to us. So he's now just, for a game of football, just fueled it like for BT Sport and whatever. Listen, the game don't need that little bit of extra spice chucked onto it, because it's Arsenal, Chelsea, Arsenal anyway. You know what I mean? I just think it's unnecessary.
And now he's put a lot of pressure on himself. If he goes in and he doesn't deliver, you know, he's going to be the one. He's going to be the one picking up all the stick off for the Arsenal fans. I mean, listen, now, trust me, he's going to get lots and lots of sticks. Simple as that.
Well, I think he'll get a bad reception. I think he's going to get a bad reception.
He's going to get a very bad reception.
Yeah,
very bad. And then when he comes to the Emirates, he's going to get a very bad reception.
Even worse.
And I don't think it would have been pre this. I don't think it would have been very bad. I think it would have been mixed. Because there are always going to be some fans, like you said, there are fans that love Arteta, so it'd be mixed. But I just didn't see the need for him to do that. And I really want to ask you guys out there: would you? What's your view on it? Would you boo or would you clap him? You know,
what is your feelings?
You know, what's your feelings on it? Do you just look on it? Because I think also, let me just say that I do think this as football fans. I mean, I've just named out quite a few players. You've named out quite a few players who've left and stuff like that. We do have to remember that a footballer is a professional.
Yeah.
He's a professional. It's his job. So if he leaves Arsenal and, you know, basically Arsenal told him to leave, he's got to go and find another employment. If he's then at Barcelona and Barcelona saying to him, listen, we can't afford to keep you, and then, you know, the Chelsea job comes up and they're going to pay you big wages. You're going to play Champions League football. You're going to be back in London. Listen, if it was us, we'd do it, right? They're professional footballers. They're not football fans. They may love the club that they played at. They may have an affinity to a club that they played at, but they're not as deeply invested as we are most of the times into a club. They are professional footballers, and it doesn't matter who they are. It could be a player that you think's an absolute legend. That, you know, there's lots of players. You know, Jamie Carragher was an Everton fan. He played for Liverpool.
Yeah. Robbie Fowler.
You know, Everton
Michael
fan,
Owen.
played for Liverpool. Michael Owen.
Darren Bent. Look at
Darren Bent. I remember when I met Darren Bent, and I was saying to him, I was chatting to him, and I was going, yeah, you know, I always thought he was cool, man, but the only thing is, man, you're bloody Tottenham, you know what I mean? And he goes to me, Robbie, I'm not Tottenham. I said, well, you played for Tottenham. You know, you played up front for Tottenham for years. He goes, no, I'm an Arsenal fan. So I said, you're an Arsenal fan? And he said, yeah, I'm an Arsenal fan. He goes, all my family are Arsenal fan. He goes, I grew up as an Arsenal fan. He goes, when I was playing for Tottenham, that's my job. You know what I mean? That's my job. Of course, I always wanted Tottenham to win because that's my job, and my job was to make Tottenham win. And when I played against Arsenal, I want to win, but that's my job. But he goes, if you ask me what's my club, the club I support, I support Arsenal. I found it a bit weird because I'm like, you know, but he, you know.
But that's the environment they're in, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Harry Kane was an Arsenal fan. You've seen the pictures of him at the parade, with his hair dyed red like he's Freddie Ljungberg, you know what I mean? He's now Tottenham's main guy, you know what I mean, and has been for years, you know what I mean? It's their job. It's you know, it's different to us. It's different to us, and sometimes as well, we don't even get the full story on what's happened in some of these deals as well, because the Adebayor one, right? Where, you know, when he went and slid in front of the Arsenal fans that time, run the length of the pitch and slid in front of the Man City fans, which I thought was one of the most disgraceful things I've ever seen and disloyalty I've ever seen. But when I read John Smith's book, he's the football agent who was looking after Adebayor at the time, he says that, you know, one of the reasons Adebayor was so angry is that he wanted to stay at Arsenal. So it was kind of like he wanted to leave Arsenal at first, and then people sort of spoke to him and said, yeah, listen, look what Arsenal's done for you. Look how you've grown at Arsenal. You've done, and then he sat down and thought to himself, you know what, actually, this club's done so much good stuff for me. I'm kind of treating them bad. I don't want to leave. And he went to Arsene Wenger, and he went to the Arsenal board and said, actually, I want to stay. I want to stay at Arsenal. And they said, well, actually, we want you to leave because we're getting good money for you, right? But that never really ever came out.
No, that never came out.
So I think that was, you know, when he did that thing of the knee slide in front of the Arsenal fans, he was getting so much stick off of them. He was really upset because we didn't know the full story. True, yeah. So there's, I read...
Still shouldn't have done it.
Still shouldn't. Listen, it was stupid to do. The worst thing I've ever seen, right? The other one is the Ashley Cole one.
Yeah.
Now, again, for years and years and years, we've all hated on Ashley Cole, but I interviewed David Dean.
And he said he was,
you know, and it's in his book as well, in David Dean's book, where he says, and remember, he was involved in the whole thing at the time.
We treated him bad.
He says, we treated Ashley Cole badly. And he goes, if we would have just added a little bit more to the deal, he would have stayed.
Well, they promised him it. And they promised it, and then they went back on it.
They promised him it, and we went back on it, and that's why he went to Chelsea.
Yeah.
And at the time, he kind of came out and said that.
Yeah.
And we all said, no, piss off, you're this, you're that. Ashley Cole, stuff like that. Now, all these years later, it's been revealed that actually he wasn't really being Ashley Cole. It was us who was being no Ashley Cole. You know what I mean? We don't want to give him the extra bit of money that we promised him, and that's why he left. So there's a lot of times, a lot of things have gone on behind the scenes that we're not privy to. But I still think, in the case of some of these footballers,
silence is golden.
Yeah, don't say nothing.
Don't say nothing like
Do
that.
it in your book later on when you're finished or something like that.
Do you know, like thinking about, like, you know, Harry Redknapp gets a lot of stick, doesn't he, from the old Arsenal fans and everything like that. I mean, but he's an Arsenal fan.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's weird, isn't it? Like, but he went on to
our greatest ever manager, Arsene Wenger, right? Again, reading in David Dean's book, you know, he called up to, he really wanted him, but you know who helped to get that deal across the line? You know who gave him strong recommendation?
Yeah, I know. You know what I mean? Like Tottenham legend.
Glenn Hoddle.
Yeah.
Said, no, this guy would be good for us. Or So, I mean...
Good old Glenn.
So I'm just saying, but on this, Aubameyang, why he done this video, I think he's just... there's a lot of fans now that I've seen come Sunday, mate, he's going to get a shocking reception from the Arsenal fans.
I know, and as you well know, the away fans are more...
they're more vociferous.
Yeah, that's the word.
And they'll be giving it. And I can tell you, there were a couple of fans that I spoke to after the Zurich game, and there was one fan in particular that I had to say to him, mate, we got to cut that. We can't put that out because you can't say stuff like that. And he was like, well, no, why not? And I said, you can't. It was bad. Let's just say it was very bad. And I was like,
a lot, like in my WhatsApp group, you know what I mean? The C word's being used, and it ain't Chelsea, like, you know what I mean? So, it's a shame. It's a shame, you know what I mean? Like, because I'm always, like, you play for Arsenal, you know what I mean? It must be a wonderful thing, and you've done great things for the club.
I've got an Arsenal tattoo.
Yeah, but he's ruined that now. Yeah. It's a shame. Yeah.
Well, the game itself, the perfect tonic will be for Arsenal to go out there and get a
massive game.
And it's a massive game, Lee. Won there last year, of course. That was
2 years on the spin we've won there.
Yeah, 2 years on the spin. Remember last year?
Free. Julian's favourite number, free.
Yeah. We go there, we got a great chance of winning the game. I think, we're playing very well. They were playing pretty well up until last weekend. They had a bit of a horror show, against Brighton, losing the
first defeat, wasn't it,
under Potter. They're missing players like Reece James. Chilwell's out now as well. They're not quite. I noted that Sterling scored the other night. He's a guy who always scores against us when he was at Man City. But they've not really been firing on all cylinders. This is an opportunity. We've got 2 games to go until that break. I think Arsenal can go there and get something. I'm going, yes, they haven't, under Potter, that was their first defeat. But I remember even watching the game when Man United went to Chelsea, and United were all over them. United should have won that game. They were the better team. When Chelsea scored, it was against the run of play. I think they can be got at. I really do think they can be got at. And, I feel if they put in the display that I saw them putting against Man United, against us,
we'll have enough.
I think we'd have enough to win it.
Just before we go into that, I've got to ask a question, I don't know the answer to it, but I'd like to get the answer to it. So if anybody knows the answer to it, would be fantastic.
What's that?
Well, Arsenal only play in their home kit on two grounds, 2 teams. Yeah.
Tottenham. We always wear our red and white.
Yeah, we're at Tottenham.
Chelsea.
Yeah. But why? Why do we?
Well, we always wear red and white against Tottenham just because it's North London derby.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But at Chelsea as well. Do you remember back in the old when we used to wear white socks? Yeah. We always used to go there and change our socks to red. We always go there.
I know why Tottenham. I don't know why Chelsea.
No, so I just want to know why we don't. What is there? It must be a reason why we're playing red and white in those 2 grounds and not at any other ground.
Because even over the years at Chelsea, we could have worn the yellow kit.
Yeah.
This year we could wear the pink kit because there wouldn't be a clash.
Yeah, same with Spurs. We could do, with Spurs, we've got the white sleeve.
Yeah, but at Spurs, we always, I
can't remember.
So we're representing the red half is coming to the white half. I think we have done it once.
I can recall doing it once. If anybody can remember.
Spurs?
At Spurs, I remember.
What kit
I think we wore a yellow kit like back in the 80s or something. I think so. I can't remember it. But I think I recall someone telling me or whatever, but I don't remember it at Chelsea. I don't.
Normally derby games, you look at a lot of derby games around the country, like when Liverpool play Everton.
They're always playing those colours,
They wear their blue, they wear their reds. When Man United City, the City wear their away kit sometimes?
I don't know.
Actually, I'm not sure on that one. Newcastle, Sunderland. They'll both wear their black and white stripes, red and white stripes. You love it as well when them teams are wearing their. So I get it for the Arsenal Tottenham game. I don't know why I don't know why for the Chelsea one.
You know what I mean?
That's a good question.
Yeah,
all right, let's throw that out there. Let's ask Let's ask you guys out there.
There's got to be a reason.
What is the reason that we always wear red and white against Chelsea, home and away?
Yeah, and Tottenham, you know what I mean?
Tottenham, but I know the Tottenham one's because the derby and we're representing, innit? But yeah, the Chelsea one, I don't know the answer.
No, I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer to it.
That's a good thing you think about.
Yeah, of course I did. I'm quite an intelligent guy. You know what I mean?
Well, give us the answer then.
I don't know the answer.
Well, you're not that intelligent.
I've asked a couple of intelligent people, and they don't know neither. But you know, we've actually asked Google, and they don't know. But,
all right, let's put that out there. I mean, I'd love to know that as well.
Yeah.
That is a good. What they call it at Christmas time? That's a good sort of question to ask around the dinner table.
Yeah, it is. You know.
Yeah, I like that quiz question. Let us know. I've got my brain thinking now. But Lee, massive game.
Massive game. Be interested to see who plays at left back. Otherwise, the team picks itself. And you know, listen, I don't know about you, Robbie. This is the first time I'm going to Chelsea thinking, "Oh, I fancy us."
Yes,
last year, you know, I know we won there 4-2. I never thought we had an opening, especially when we looked at the front when Eddie was up front, and he was fantastic.
I was
by the way,
nervous we were going to get beat.
He was nervous we were going to get beat. The year before that, we won when it was just before the cup final for Chelsea.
Yeah.
So there was always nothing riding on it. But for the first time, there's something massively riding on this game, like for both teams. You know what I mean? Like I don't think we was out of the top 4 race last season for that. Like, you know, they had all their problems with what was going on with Abramovich, so that's changing. This is a game when both teams are, you know, they're up there and whatever, but for the first time for a very, very long while, I actually have heard Chelsea fans turning around and saying that we're favourites. They you know, that ain't happened for a very, very long time.
Chelsea fans saying they'll take a draw.
They'll take a draw, yeah. So, you know, that just shows you where we've come in such a short space. So I'm going there with confidence. I'm not saying that we're going to win, arrogant, but I think we've got a very, very good chance of winning. And I believe that we can go there and win this game because, do you know what? I'm going to say it. I think we're a better team than Chelsea.
I think we're a better team as well. And I think the reason for my confidence going there is that I just look at and say, if the best Arsenal turns up and the best Chelsea turns up, we win.
Yeah. But they've got some good players.
They've got some very, very good players. But this season, and I think a lot of diehard Chelsea fans would admit this, that we have got a better team than them this season. If we turn up with our first 11 and we play to our best and they play to their best, I think we win the game the way we've been playing this season. Looking at the table as well, this is where it could be very significant as well, because obviously we're top of the table. We want to keep that going.
Yeah.
We want to. It's all about
and basically we know that by the time we play that game, we're not going to be top.
Yeah.
We know that.
Yeah.
You know.
So because Man City have got Fulham, I think it is at home. Yeah. But this is another thing that I think is quite significantly. Yeah. Currently we're 10 points above Chelsea. 10. Who would have thought that, right?
Same games, or have we played?
Same amount of games played. They're on 21 points. We're on 31. Yeah. They got a goal difference of 2. We got a goal difference of 19. When have you seen these sort of things between us and Chelsea, right? If we beat Chelsea, we'd be on 34 points. That would be a full 13 points ahead of Chelsea.
Unbelievable.
Now, when you're starting to
your hand off for that,
when you're starting to talk about things like top 4 and things like that, that's a huge lead.
Yeah.
Even at this early stage in the season, it would be a very, very significant win. It would be absolutely huge. We've got to go there and give it absolutely everything. And as well, these are the last couple of games before we go into that break. There's no Europa League game. I know we got a Carabao Cup game in the week, but that's minor as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. We've got to go there. We've got to throw everything at this. Because if we could win this game, not only would we stay top of the league, that would be significant, but what would be even more significant, as I said, is the fact that 13 points above Chelsea, I mean, that would be huge.
Yeah, and what's great about it is, this is the thing that really why this is an important game. When Chelsea were a better team than us, and they were 10 points in front of us going into these games, they nailed it. They won those games, and that's what we've got to do. We've got to go along there and go, right, we're going to Chelsea, we're the better team, we're the form team, bang. make a statement, like, you know. We've made statements this season. I don't care what anybody says, you know what I mean. I think we played Liverpool and beat them when Liverpool were a very, very good side. You know, that day they played very, very, could have gone either way. This one now, if we can just get, you know, like this one over the line, beat them, it virtually gives us a great chance of going to the World Cup as top of the table. Like,
and then you look at, you know what I mean, Man City have got a fairly easy game you would see on paper against Fulham at home. But looking at some of the other teams in and around us, Tottenham are playing Liverpool. Yeah. So again, you know, there's a potential there for Tottenham. You know, if they've got injuries as well, Tottenham, that they could slip up, so we could stretch the gap against them. You know, got to look out for Newcastle now and Man United. They're both away as well. If we could win this, it really. So I mean, would you take 4 points from the next 2 games?
Yes.
Us and Chelsea and Wolves.
I'll take.
Would you take a point, say on I don't know, a point against?
I would take a point. I would take a point against Chelsea, but I just think at this moment in time, if you're going to play Chelsea, it's a good time to be playing them. You know, like I've watched Chelsea the last couple of games. They've not been in great form. Defensively, I think they've got problems. You know, you've got Saka and Martinelli. I just think it's. I'll take a point because you know, but I feel that we can go and fill our boots and get all 3 points here. I really. It's
got to be a cohesive performance. I really think like the front three have got to come to the party. We've got to defend very well because the thing about Chelsea is that right throughout their team and bench is stacked full of world-class players.
Yeah, of course it is.
Right throughout. You know what I mean? Whether it be, you know, Thiago Silva and Koulibaly in defence, whether it be, you know, your Kovacic's and people like this in midfield, your Mason Mounts, your Havertz, you know, Aubameyang, as we know, Raheem Sterling, they've got quality right throughout that team, right from the goalkeeper right up. But what I look at and I say, as a team, we are playing better football than them, and we have got a formidable starting 11.
Yeah, and that's you know, that's the great thing. I was just going to say that I think the difference between Mikel and Graham Potter at the moment is that Mikel knows virtually his best 11. He's still searching. You know what I mean? Like, you know, the goalkeeper's out, and he like, you know what I mean? He sort of like said to Mendy, like, no, I'm going with him, and now all of a sudden you're bringing in another goalkeeper. Oh no, help me out here, like, you know what I mean, or whatever. You've got like Aspilicueta on the right hand side, in and out. You know, would he really want to be playing? He's coming to the end of his career now, being stretched. You know what I mean? Like Martinelli done it to him a couple of years ago. Yeah. Like, you know,
I think that's where we can have a lot of joy. You know, it's like, you know, it's Martinelli, Saka, Jesus. That front three. We got Partey, and again, when we've gone there in recent times, we haven't had the.
I don't think Partey played last year.
Yeah, very rarely have we gone to Chelsea in recent times and had like our real strongest 11.
No, we haven't.
This is going to be really, really interesting because a lot of times we've got to some of these big clubs and we ain't had our, you know, this guy's out and that key player's out. This time, they're all in really. Yeah. Maybe Tomiyasu could be out, but they're all in. So I'm really, really looking forward to it. Let's get your prediction.
I'm going to go, I said on Forever Arsenal today. By the way, on the Forever Arsenal, if you get to check it out, I'm the only one that went for a Chelsea win. All the others ducked out of it.
Chelsea win?
No, I went for an Arsenal win. The others all went for a draw. None of them backed the Arsenal.
They bottled it.
Yeah, bottled it. Yeah. Particularly that James.
Disgraceful on that. You know James, man. It's a bottle job, isn't he?
Yeah, he's always he always likes to draw.
He's in the studio at the
moment. No, they've all gone. But I've just got a sneaky feeling.
I'm with you.
I'm hoping as well that Arsenal nick it 2-1.
I'm gonna go. I think it might be like another one of these 1-0ers. I think it could be a 1-0.
I could take a 1-0. It was better than that yesterday.
It'd be very hard to take, very hard to watch, but we'll take it in the end. But I think Arsenal are very resilient at the moment as well. I can see Arsenal getting the goal, and then it could be 1-0. I mean, 1-0 or 2-0. I think you might keep a clean sheet.
Listen.
No, actually, no. 2-1.
Would you imagine
go with your 2-1?
Would you imagine if Arsenal did go there and win 2-0?
As I said, right,
But brilliant statement,
As I
because that
said-
shows they're defensively wrong.
Yeah. As I said, I saw when Man United went there. United should have won that game. They were the better team. They didn't take their chances. They dominated Chelsea. I was quite surprised by that game.
Yeah.
I
But
think
then Chelsea played really well against Spurs, didn't they?
they did, but that was pre-Potter, wasn't it? That was quite a while back. And we've seen some weird performances with them. We've seen them, that game against Leeds when they lost 3-0. Now 4 past them last week. Their defence looked very shaky. We've got to get at them, man. If we go there full of confidence, and that's what we've been doing this season, I fancy us. What do you guys think out there? Let us know. Also, don't forget this weekend's AFTV PICK10, a £17,000 combined prize pot, £10,000 on a Saturday's PICK10, £5,000 in Sundays, and £2,000 of the Arsenal versus Chelsea special on Sunday. Scan the QR code on the screen and play AFTV PICK10. Or you just click the link in the description, because it's very hard to scan it if you may be watching on your phone. So click the link in the description as well, and you could be a big winner. You saw that guy, $5.5 grand he won last week, $2.5 grand the other guy. They're going to have a great Christmas, right? So get involved right now. Listen, we've come to the end of the show.
Yeah, I've enjoyed that today.
Let's hope we can get the job done on Sunday. Don't forget to subscribe here to the AFTV. Don't forget, you can check out Forever Arsenal. You know what I mean? Find out what them other Muppets are saying about draws and all that.
It's called The Muppet Show this week, right? You know what I mean? Like,
Check out Forever Arsenal as well, and all the great content here on AFTV. Check out our shop as well, where you can get all the latest merch like this Saliba t-shirt, and we will catch you on the next video.
And don't forget, if you got any restaurant recommendations, just let me know, Thank you.
Massive congratulations goes out to @Yackley70, who won £2,500 when they got 9 out of 10 rightly in last Sunday's PICK10.
Unbelievable.
This weekend, we've got £17,000 to be won in the combined prize pots. That's £10,000 in Saturday's PICK10, £5,000 in Sunday's PICK10, and £2,000 for the Arsenal versus Chelsea game on Sunday, and it only costs £5 to start playing. All you got to do is click the link, verify your details, top up your account, make your picks, and away you go. If you're as obsessed about football as we are, then this is the game for you.
What do you know about Jesus scoring on Sunday against Chelsea then?
Do you know what? I reckon he'll actually score.
Yeah, he's been going for a bit of a dry spell, but I think he'll be all right.
What if he doesn't score though?
Oh, well, we'll look like idiots then, won't we, Rob?
Well, just another normal day for you then, isn't it?
Charming.
The Invincible podcast. Myself, Robbie, and Lee Judges come together once a week to discuss all things Arsenal. Straight talking, considered discussion, brought to you by the fans of the only club in Football League history to go invincible.